Howdy everybody, this is Jack and this is my Terrablox devblog. So Christmas is over now, we can all get back to work. But yeah, I haven't actually done much this week, obviously, but I've done a few tiny things that should make you happy. So yeah, I'll just talk through them as I go through. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so here I've added in the mods button finally. But it doesn't do anything yet other than take you to your mods folder. So it'll open up Windows Explorer and you can just get there this way. So if you don't know where the mods, the Terrablox folder is, it's actually in your documents / Terrablox, but this button will just take you straight to it, and that just simplifies it. But it will later open up a panel, and that will have like texture packs, character skins, and all that stuff. And it will just have this link as a smaller button there. But for now, that's where that goes. And let's go into game. Oh yeah, here we go. I added splash screens. Well, you already know these exist, but basically there's a folder now called Splash, and if you put images in there, they'll automatically load in the game while it's loading. So yeah, I need to work on randomization because it keeps choosing that one for some reason. I mean, it has chosen other ones, but today it's only used redhead. It's weird. So yes, it's mostly been optimizations so far. So I'll show you what we got here. We got F3. Now you see there's this bar at the top. This basically, at the moment, it only measures rendering, so how long it takes to draw stuff. So as you can see, it takes the longest to draw the terrain, which is the green bar. And then you got clouds, which are the red bar, particles, which are the cyan bar, and actors, which is the orange bar. Actors is basically like the character, and it will also be like mobs and NPCs and all that sort of stuff. So if you look at the orange bar, when I go into first person, it shrinks. That's because we're not drawing the character anymore. So yeah, that basically measures the proportion that the entire rendering takes. And yellow is the sky. That was actually really high for some reason, and well, actually it was because I was using Game Maker's like draw ellipse thing instead of turning it into a model first. So now I turn it into a model, and that dropped significantly. Same with the clouds. There was a few little things weird with them. Particles were really weird, but as you can see, the blue bar increases now. But that was really sporadic and weird. And I fixed that now, but at the moment it still draws particles individually. So for each one of these particles it has to draw a separate block. I'm going to fix that later on. Basically I'll just have a few vertex buffers that have like you'll have one with just say 50 cubes in it, or cubes or particles, whatever, and then one with 100, then one with 200, and so on. And you'll just draw that single buffer with all these cubes in it and pass it an array with all the shapes and positions and alphas and all that stuff in it. So yeah, other than that, there was a memory leak that's been bugging me for ages. It was when you were destroying stuff, and when it updated the chunk, or if you've done that even, when you updated the chunk, it was supposed to be deleting the old vertex buffer and replacing it with the new one. But I was using the wrong function to do it. So you have like vertex buffer destroy and buffer destroy, and I was just using buffer destroy, which is a completely different thing. Who knew? And yeah, so that fixed that now. So, but yeah, if you were going around the map like destroying stuff for like 10 minutes, you could pretty much double your memory usage. But now it stays pretty stable. And this map, which is 256 by 256 by 32, this comes out at about 200 megabytes on RAM, and that's everything. That's the map, the game, everything basically. So yeah, that's a lot better. And oh yeah, we got sort of a notification now. So if I click F1 here, you'll see at the bottom there it says saving game and game saved. So yeah, so when it's saving game, you basically don't quit. But that will take longer later on. But basically that's there now, so you know when it's saving and you won't quit and break your save file. Because I've done that before. I saved it quickly and quit pretty soon after. And when I came back, half the world was sort of like chopped down the middle. I may actually fix that as an actual issue. So like it'll save your game separately and then just override the other one after it's finished. That might be a better solution. Yeah, I think that's everything. What other optimizations have I got? Actually, this is almost full. Yeah. Actually, yeah, one thing I do need to do is add in proper sort of sprites for these sort of images, like so they actually look like a block rather than just their faces. Because if you look at these, like you have leaves 1, leaf 2, leaf 3. Those are basically for the Christmas lights and all that stuff, and the Christmas presents. Basically, I'll have them actually build blocks and draw them there. And I'm gonna have a button, so well, not a button, maybe like a different hotkey or something, so that you can, instead of swapping these manually one by one, you can just click something or press a keyboard key and it will just swap the whole row. So you can just press like page down or something and you'll get this row instead of this one and stuff like that. What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. Let's get back into this. Oh yeah, so if you look up there, it says other as well. That's basically anything that I'm not measuring, which counts as like processing, like chunk updates and all that stuff. But it's also idle time, so time that isn't being used by the game. So because if you look up here as if you look up here as well, it says frame rate 120, but here is your actual frame rate, which is like, I don't know, 500 to 600. It's swapping a lot there, but basically that the time it takes to do those ones. Oh, this is how do I explain this? So basically, there's a lot of more a lot more that could happen that isn't happening, and that turns into idle time. Basically, I try and take advantage of that with the chunk updates. So if you, I can't actually get it to work here, but you see layer updates. So if you got a lot of idle time, layer updates would increase, so it can go up to 32 or whatever the height of the chunk is, and that means you'll get chunks built quicker. But obviously this is running fast enough at the moment, it doesn't need to do that. But yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so this week I think I'm just gonna concentrate more on optimizations and filling in the gaps. So things like the mods page, doing that properly, so you have the switcher and all that stuff. And also with the mods page, I was thinking of allowing the player to download mods. So basically you could point to some sort of folder on a website somewhere, and it would have texture packs there and character skins and that sort of stuff. And I mean that's easy enough to do. The only issue is like where you put that, where you store all that stuff, and how other people can contribute to it. Because I don't really want to go through it myself every time someone wants to add something. It'll just get awkward. But I'll look into it, and maybe I could just do it for myself, for now, so you can get stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Other things are like the options. Having that in game would be good, because at the moment people are still having to go through the ini file to do things like basic things like resolution and full screening, that sort of stuff. And I may add in graphical settings as well, so you can sort of tone down particles if you want, tone down clouds, because clouds at the moment are just graphical. In the future I hope they actually have some sort of physical presence, but for now they can just be stripped out if they're causing trouble. And achievements, I don't know what would actually be an achievement yet. I don't know, probably like place your first block, destroy your first block, that sort of rubbish. But yeah, I think it'll be cool to just, you know, consolidate what we've got so far before we start moving on. Uh, you know, build a concrete base and build up. But yeah, hopefully that all goes well, and thanks for watching, and goodbye.